Hi, it's Cammy. Charlie talks football.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Charlie Talks Football. So we're here in a different location, aren't we, Dad? But
Yep.
I think in today's video we're going to be talking about Newcastle United's transfer window, because many fans think it's been one of the worst transfer windows in a long time. So we're going to give you our thoughts on it. Now, in my opinion, Dad, the transfer window reflects the weather at the minute, because of course it's raining, it's all like miserable, and it seems like that's what the atmosphere is like around Newcastle United. But seriously, Dad, I mean, let's start off with the Mark Gay transfer. That's been going on for so long. I don't want to talk about it too much, guys, because it's been going on for too long. But Dad, like, what's going on in your opinion?
It's gone on for ages, doesn't it? I think he's coming up from London on a snail. It's taken that long for him to get here, but we haven't agreed a fee yet. Or we're just waiting for Palace to bring in a replacement. I know they're working on deals at the minute.
Yeah.
But, you know, who knows what... Last night they were saying he's definitely going to sign, and this morning, you know, there's people saying he may not sign, so we'll just have to wait and see. But... Howe came out today in his press conference and said it's, you know, highly unlikely that we'll sign a centre half and a right winger.
Yeah.
Which is a real concern. I mean, yes, we've got Harvey Barnes and we've still got Miggy, but it's a position they've been looking at for years and they've still not really addressed it. So we'll just have to wait and see. But it is slightly concerning, Charlie. What do you think?
It is. Well, for Howe to come out and say these comments, someone must be lying at the club. I'm sorry, because of course you've got Howe coming out saying that, you know, it's unlikely we're gonna, you know, sign a centre back or a right winger. But is he just saying that just to, you know, try and play it down a bit, or is he being completely honest with the Newcastle media? And is he saying, look, we don't have the budget to sign all these players that we're trying to target? But I'm also gonna put the blame on Paul Mitchell, because we were very excited when he first came in. He's supposed to be one of Europe's best director of footballs. He did well at Monaco, didn't he, Dad?
He
but
did.
He's came in and it's not it's certainly not been a good look for him, because he's clearly not been able to get the players in he wants. And some fans may argue that Dan Ashworth's done a better job than he has. So what are your thoughts on that situation?
I think it's early days. There's obviously been a change, a transition, because Amanda Staveley and Murdad's left, and he'll come in. Mitchell, he'll have his own ideas, but you know, it has to be aligned with Eddie Howe, and it has to be aligned with the scouts, and they have to, you know, have a strategy that they're going to identify players and bring them in. And is the communication between Howe and Mitchell good? I don't know. Howe said it is this morning, but sometimes we hear otherwise, so we don't know. But it is concerning that we've not brought anyone in. If we get Gui, I think we'll be really happy, but it's a lot of money to pay for him, an awful lot of money. But, you know, if we don't get anyone in, to me, it's been a major disaster for Newcastle, because, yes, we're a decent team, but we do need reinforcements. And the fact that we've only brought in Osula, Lloyd Kelly, who was a free transfer. We brought in Hall, who was, you know, going to come anyway, and the two goalkeepers, Ruddy and Vladimachos. So, you know, it is a real concern, because we do need to strengthen that centre-back position. What do you think, Charlie? I
just honestly think it's a bit chaotic at the minute. It seems like ever since Amanda and Murdad, you know, left the club, it's just seemed to have gone all downhill, hasn't it, Dad?
It has. It's you know, the time's running out, the clock's ticking. You know, the deadline's close, and it's been dragging on with Gui. You know, we haven't been able to bring in a right winger. Will we get one player in? Let's hope we do. Will we get two players in? It's probably unlikely, unless we can get someone on loan. But I think with Howe he'll only bring players in if he really wants them. He's not just going to say, all right, we can't get him, so we'll get this person. There will be backup targets that they're working on, but you know, he's very, very stringent on who he brings in, checks the backgrounds on them and everything. So he'll not just bring players in for the sake of it. It'll have to be someone who he thinks is going to make a real difference to the team.
I think, guys, as well, a good point that I wanted to mention is the fact that obviously we've had two director of football come and go. Obviously, you've got Dan Ashworth as well. He went to Man United, and it seems to me like there seems to be a problem between, you know, every time we're bringing a director of football, it seems seems like they don't really get on with Eddie Howe. I'm not saying that Paul Mitchell doesn't get on with Howe, but Dan Ashworth and Eddie Howe, there was always set to be a problem. Apparently Ashworth, wanted full control and he didn't get it. So apparently Paul Mitchell's got full control, Dad, and Eddie Howe apparently isn't happy because he wants full control. So who do you blame here? Do you blame Eddie Howe? Do you blame, the director of footballs that Newcastle are bringing in? Because if we keep bringing in director of footballs and the relationship between them and Eddie Howe isn't working, it's who do you blame? Do you blame the club?
Yeah.
Or do you blame Howe?
It depends how the powers that be want the club to run. So a lot of clubs now, the coach just picks the team, and the director of football and the department, they'll have meetings and decide which targets they want to go for. But the director of football have an idea of the players he wants to play with. But you've got to have that aligned with the style of player the coach wants to play with. So if we play with a high press, we like to bring in younger players, how coaches them and tries to develop them. So you've got to get players that fit into the holes that the coach wants to play into. So I keep using the word aligned. You've got to be together, and I'm sure they are and they're working on it, but you've got to get the right players in. But it all depends on the owners and how they want the club to run. Yes, there has been a change, as we've said, with Murdad and Amanda leaving and Mitchell coming in, and that will take time to build up those relationships. They don't just happen overnight. But as fans, we just want players and we want the team to improve, and we want Howe to be supported because we believe in him and what he's doing because he's such a good coach. And we just hope he can be given the players, and the tools to improve the team, because we haven't got European football this season. We can really focus on the Premier League and have a good go. But at this moment in time, we need more players.
Yeah, I think as well, the problem is that if we go at the end of the transfer window and we haven't brought in a centre-back or a right winger, it is a disgrace, because I'm sorry, but coming into this transfer window, we've got to be more active. Yes, you could say, it's the PSR rules that's a problem, but I thought the reason why we were selling Anderson and Minter was because, we would have enough budget now to go for a centre-back and a right winger. And yes, we've been trying. Yes, there'll be a lot of things happening behind the scenes, but surely Paul Mitchell, is thinking, what is going on? Because it's been reported that he scouted James Trafford in the final days of the transfer window, but what's he gonna do? He's gotta act on it and do something, because if nothing's happening and he's out here scouting Trafford in the final few days, then what is going on?
I think we'll know in the next 48 hours or so, because Palace are playing tonight in the Carabao Cup, and will Gay be involved? We don't know. If he's not involved, then that's probably a good sign that he is going to be coming to Newcastle. If Palace sign any centre halves in the next 48 hours, that's probably another sign. But they've sold Anderson to Fulham, and Ayew's gone, hasn't he? The winger's gone and the forward. So it's difficult for Oliver Glasner as well, because he's losing some of his top players and he's got such a short time to replace them. So there's pressure on Palace as well, and there might be a domino effect because of PSR. Newcastle probably need to let some players go, so things could happen really quickly. Any time between now and the transfer deadline, things could change. But as it currently stands, Newcastle have not signed anyone, and we're desperate to get someone in.
For me, the rules have got to change, though, Dad, because it's clear that these rules restrict Newcastle. You've got Chelsea spending hundreds of millions of pounds. You've got Manchester City, a club who have exploited the rules for so long, and you've got the could potentially be relegated as well. But it's not fair, because it's clear that they're just doing this for the traditional big six, and they're obviously trying to undermine Newcastle and stop us from spending.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with Man City as well, because they have been investigated for all those hundreds of charges. So will they be found guilty? Will they lose points? Will they be relegated? We'll just have to wait and see on that. But it does seem to be different rules for different teams. Man United were let off with 40 million due to sometime in COVID, which has helped them as well. So we sold Anderson and Minter, no doubt about it, to comply with PSR. They wouldn't have been sold if it wasn't for it. So it sounds like we're up against it, but and we're trying to work our way through it to bring in players and comply with PSR. But it must be difficult for the club.
So anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. make sure to subscribe. I want get your comments down below. What are your thoughts on this situation? Do you think it's Paul Mitchell's fault? Do you think it's Eddie Howe's fault? Do you think this has been a really poor window? We certainly think so. And there's some fans, Dad, on social media suggesting that even transfer windows under Mike Ashley have been better.
Wow, that's a big
which is a big statement.
Yeah.
But I want to know what you guys think on this situation. Make sure to follow my Instagram and TikTok, guys. I'll put it on the screen now. Thanks for the support on my TikTok. I will be updating you guys on all the latest Newcastle United news and transfers. And anyway, guys, make sure to stay tuned. We've got the Nottingham Forest game tomorrow. Yep. Will Tonali be on the bench or will he start, Dad?
Well, I think he'll be on the bench, but I hope he gets at least 45 minutes. And then obviously we've got the Spurs game on Saturday that we're going to. So, you know, hopefully we can have a good performance, get through the next round of the Carabao Cup, get some game time in Tonali's legs and get him ready for Sunday for the big one against Spurs.
Make sure to like, guys, as always, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.